Hi, this is Brian David Marshall coming to you from the Tournament Center at Pro Tour-Amsterdam. I'm here with Ben Lundquist, aka Benny Beatdowns, and we're here to do a deck tech on a build that we've been calling Runner Dredge. It is not like the standard dredge decks, which have, you know, no actual dredge. This deck actually does have some dredge in it. The only remaining dredge card in the format, right?
Yeah, that's the only one.
So, so you actually have, and it's only 2 of them,
Yeah.
but it is enough to be like certifiably a dredge deck for Kelly Diggs, who hates calling non-dredge decks dredge.
This is Dredge.
This is dredge. This is dredge. So, tell us a little bit about. You've had this deck for a while now,
Yeah,
right?
I've had it since late June, before M11 even came out, and the Leyline of the Void wasn't spoiled yet, so I was getting really excited. And everyone only played Relic of Regenesis in the sideboard, so I was getting really excited for the Pro Tour. It got spoiled that it was in there, so I got a little hesitant, started testing Doran and stuff like that, but this deck's powerful enough that I stuck with it throughout the whole time.
Has it changed much since you were like originally building it?
I have added a Rotting Rats and an Iona in place of a Sphinx of the Lost Truths.
Yeah.
And a land. And
So, but this you've had this deck in
Yeah.
like 73 or 70 cards for a long time.
Yeah.
All right. So tell us about the basics of the deck. I mean, for you, it all starts with Hedron Crab.
Yep. Hopefully that's in my opening hand every time.
You said this is one of your favorite cards in Magic, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. I played Dredge last season. I loved it. I wanted to play Dredge in Type 2. It's an awesome deck there. I love that card.
So walk us through. You play a turn 1 Hedron Crab.
Yep.
You
Ideally.
say ideally, the turn comes back to you. It's turn 2. What's the worst thing that can happen for your opponent?
The worst thing that could happen is I play Fetch Land.
So we play a Scalding Tarn.
Yep.
Okay.
Mill 3 cards, hit either a Bloodghast or a Narcomoeba, mill some more cards. Well, I guess the ideal, you would start with a Tome Scour before you did that to have extra chance to hit Bloodghast and Narcomoeba. And then after you milled off the Hedron Crab.
So you've milled 5.
Yep, milled 5.
Then you're going to mill 6 here.
Yep.
On a fetch land.
Yep.
Okay.
And then you're going to do 8 more off tapping one of these 2, plus the Hedron Crab for Conspire.
There are actually more Conspire cards in this deck than there are Dredge cards, I want to point out.
Okay, we can call it Conspire too, but there definitely is Dredge.
So Memory Sluice, so you now have a Crab, let's just say an Narcomoeba.
Mm-hmm.
You've already Tome Scoured, and now you play Memory Sluice, and you tap these both to Conspire it, and so you're milling 8 cards.
Yep.
So we've got 8, 6, 5. I can't add that high. How many cards is that?
8, 6, 21.
So that's more than a third of your deck.
It might be 19.
It's still more than a
Okay,
third of your deck,
yeah.
considering you've drawn 7 cards to start
Yes,
the game too.
yeah.
Way more.
And the land that you searched out too.
So, and then what's going to happen?
So then you're going to hit one of these 4 Dread Returns because the deck's all in on this card. And you're going to sacrifice, hopefully you got some of these or these, some extra ones.
You basically want to have 3 creatures.
Yeah.
So you can sacrifice Dread Return, and you also want to have a target in your graveyard, right?
You want Iona, but if you don't get Iona and you get multiple Dread Returns or multiple Bridges, you can just make a bunch of tokens. There's not very many ways to deal with 12 tokens on the second turn.
12 tokens. I noticed you only have 8 tokens packed in your deck box.
Yeah, my friend Matt Baccio borrowed them for the last GP and didn't return some of them, so.
All right, if anyone out there has zombie tokens.
Anyone, not to name names.
Yeah, Ben could use them. So like you can return something like a Routing Rat.
Not turn 2, that's the turn.
Yeah, that's not true. Okay.
Yeah, okay, yeah. That's good when you draw some of the cards, like a Dread Return or an Iona.
So ideally, the turn 2, you could actually get an Iona into play on turn 2, in the ideal world.
You can get it on turn 1 off the perfect Tome Scour too. But I don't think that's going to happen. You need 3 Narcomoebas and these 2.
Okay, but you've actually gotten the Iona into play on turn 2 against...
Mono Red, yes. I played Hedron Crab turn 1. He suspended a Rift Bolt, and then I put an Iona into play the next turn. And he said, I'm not going to waste your time. And he scooped off his cards.
I mean, that's kind of interesting, right? There's a lot of monocolored decks you're seeing at tables. You're seeing mono white decks, you're seeing mono red decks, you're seeing mono green decks.
Yeah.
And
I didn't just have Iona at first. I had tried out Terastodon. My sideboard, I have a couple more targets, but Iona, game 1, you just lock them straight out of the game. A lot of decks there's not many ways to deal with it in with two colors.
Now, on its surface, this deck, tell me a little bit about the Magus of the Bazaar, because this to me seems like, you know, he's up here, like he's kind of like not that good. I mean, what's going on?
Well, the thing is, this deck is so fast that people have to like try to race you, and when they're just killing your creatures, it's not that good for them. And if you were to like hit something like a bridge from below on a Tome Scour or a Hedron Crab, they lose a lot of value out of just killing it. But it's mostly awesome when you're playing against another combo deck, because they really don't have many ways to kill it. Like the Ad Nauseam deck that was just covered here, there's literally no way to kill it. I played against elves, and you just play a turn, and you just go off.
Well, it seems pretty exciting. Tell me a little bit about your sideboard cards. Let's take a look. You know, what are you bringing these guys in for?
Relic of Progenitus. that's it, pretty much.
Like,
Fauna Shaman maybe, or if Doran's playing Tormod's Crypt, then it's good against them because you can name Knight of the Reliquary, stops their Bajuka Bog.
Sure.
Yeah.
But really, it's just Relic of Progenitus,
Yeah,
right? That's like the natural predator for this deck.
Yeah.
So we got, this is kind of interesting. You're just trying to take these out of the available card pool?
I like them against a couple decks. They're really not necessary for this tournament, but I thought my deck was a lot better than other people did.
Right.
So if it got spread as much as I thought it might, which it almost did, I wouldn't have doubted that I would have needed those, but I probably won't need them for this tournament.
How about the Into the Roils?
That's for Leyline of the Void, and that's basically it. There's a fifth bounce spell on the sideboard.
So, got to wipe away.
Yeah.
And then we have 2 additional targets.
Yep. Against red, I'd like a 4th Dread Return target, because the games come down to just, they're burning out your creatures, so you're just milling yourself. This doesn't happen. So you just try to cast this. You get one in your opening hand, you get the 4 mana, and you cast it on something that's just like a Reanimator deck.
Right.
And while they're killing your guys, they're not killing you.
Right.
So.
And any of these in play are just really difficult for
Yes.
the aggro decks.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's great. You're 3-1 so far with the deck?
Yep. I messed up my first loss, so a little upset about that, but I've rebounded and put up a good fight.
You got a lot of people playing this. People are doing really well.
Yep.
You have a little bit of a reputation as, kind of a mantle that a lot of people don't want to have. It's sort of a mixed blessing. It's like one of the best players to not have a Pro Tour top 8. But you have like, what, 3 top 32 so far?
Yeah.
It says here that you have 4 GP top 8s?
Yes.
Is that...
Yeah, three second places and a top 4. Once I get in top 8, I'm pretty good for second, and national second place also.
Right, you were on that like really sick national team. You had
Yeah.
LSV and Paul Cheon and yourself. I mean, that seems like
That was
a team that should have just romped through that field, huh?
I would take that team again in a heartbeat. We had bad decks, so I didn't play the best probably. I don't know. It just didn't happen. It was my rookie year, so.
Okay. Well, I think everyone's been expecting big things from you for a while. It seems like you've got a great deck. Well, I'll let you get back to work in getting that item off your resume of best player without a top 8. Hopefully we'll see you again on Sunday.
All right, thank you.
All right. For Benjamin Lundquist, this is Brian David Marshall signing off from the Tournament Center.